I came across a pair of giant earwigs, extremely fast and voracious. I spent time feeding and caring for them, but there was a problem that did not take long to show itself. They were not willing to share their food under any circumstances, and every time one got close to the other's meal, the tension was immediate. It all started when my Chihuahua began insistently sniffing at the cushion of her bed, something that immediately caught my attention. When I lifted it, I saw something move fast. 2 earwigs, a male and a female, but these were no ordinary earwigs. They were a size I had never seen in all my years filming insects. So I decided to set up a small improvised terrarium to observe them up close. Since I had no idea what they had been up to inside my house or how long they had gone without eating, I offered them a little honey and they took to it immediately. Something that never fails with any insect. Right away I noticed something very strange. They seemed to get along and coexist peacefully only at certain moments, while at others, they used their long pincers to confront each other. I gave them a piece of lettuce and a grape in case they were still hungry, but to my surprise, they turned it down. I had always heard that earwigs fed on plant matter, so I tried protein and offered them a mealworm. Their behavior changed completely, revealing their true instinct and making it very clear they were at the top of the food chain. I never imagined these creatures were active predators, though seeing them up close, it all makes sense. Their rear pincers are far more developed than those of most earwigs, which makes me think they are most likely a different species. One adapted for hunting and subduing prey. With those pincers, they use both to attack and to defend themselves. They took a few minutes to lock onto the worm, nervous because of my presence, carefully calculating every move before acting. But when they finally went for it, they left no doubt about what they were capable of. And that is when a question I could not ignore crossed my mind. How had these creatures gotten into my house? Earwigs are creatures that seek out darkness and moisture, and in the middle of summer, when the heat outside becomes relentless and conditions grow harsh, it is not uncommon for them to find their way inside homes. This pair had most likely been settled in for some time without me noticing, looking for a place to survive and continue their life cycle. There is a very widespread legend that says earwigs have a habit of crawling into people's ears while they sleep to reach the brain. A myth that, according to science, has absolutely no basis in reality. What is true is that they can accidentally end up near an ear while looking for shelter, but doing so deliberately is completely false. At least I hope so, because my dog has probably been sleeping right on top of them without knowing it. Pay very close attention to this incredible moment, because suddenly things start to get tense between the pair. The male, whose pincers are twice the size of the female's, becomes noticeably more aggressive and possessive, and there is an explanation for that. In many earwig species, the male uses the size of his pincers not only to fend off other males, but also to assert his authority over the female, controlling access to the most valuable resources in their environment, in this case, food, a behavior that reflects a very clear hierarchy within the pair, where the size of the pincers is not just a physical advantage, but also a constant display of dominance. It is as if the male only allows the female to eat in short intervals, deciding at every moment who gets to eat and when. What very few people know is that earwigs are one of the few insects that actively care for their eggs. The female watches over them constantly, cleanse them, and repositions them to prevent infection, something extraordinarily rare in the insect world. It has also been shown that they are capable of recognizing their own offspring even after they hatch, protecting them during the first days of life. Creatures that at first glance seem simple, but that hide a behavioral complexity that very few people would ever suspect. What few people would ever guess is that earwigs are actually capable of flying, though they rarely do. Hidden beneath those rigid outer wings are surprisingly large hind wings that fold in an incredibly complex way, almost like an origami mechanism to remain completely concealed, a design that modern engineers have studied to develop foldable structures. And as for their pincers, they are made of chitin, the same material that forms the exoskeleton of most insects, but in earwigs, it reaches a rigidity and curvature that makes them surprisingly powerful pressure tools for their size. Can they hurt a human? Technically, yes. A pinch from a large earwig can be uncomfortable and leave a small mark, but it poses no real danger. For other insects, however, those pincers are a death sentence. These creatures can go up to 2 weeks without eating, slowing down their metabolism to conserve energy when food is scarce, an extraordinary survival mechanism that allows them to endure periods of starvation without losing their ability to hunt the moment an opportunity presents itself. And judging by the voracity they showed, that was exactly how long they had gone without a single bite. Every worm I threw in disappeared within minutes, as if they had been waiting for that moment for days. It was not just hunger, it was accumulated need releasing all at once. What is curious about these confrontations is that, despite the tension they display, they almost never end up truly affecting each other. They use their pincers as a tool of intimidation, pushing and measuring each other's strength, but without going to a real extreme. It is a language of power, a constant negotiation where both try to assert their hierarchy. Eventually, they got tired of eating and arguing and went to sleep. It had been a long day for both of them. In an instant, they seemed to run out of energy. It was time to leave them alone and get some rest myself. While removing the worm remains from the terrarium, I noticed something curious. A tiny ant was trying to feed on the leftovers. It is impressive how well their sense of smell works to find food. The next day, I woke up and gave them another worm for breakfast, and they did exactly the same thing as the day before. They seemed to live a life full of excitement. Here is something even scientists did not fully know for decades, and it only came to light very recently. What everyone thinks of as a single species of earwig is not actually just one. A genetic study revealed there are at least 4 distinct species, nearly identical on the outside, impossible to tell apart just by looking, but completely different at the DNA level. For more than 2 centuries, science treated them as a single species, without realizing it was actually observing several mixed together, coexisting in the same terrarium, in the same garden, under the same rock. And this is not an isolated case. There is something called cryptic species, organisms that look identical to our eyes, but the genetics ends up exposing. So the next time you see an earwig, chances are you cannot know just by looking which one of these nearly identical species you are actually looking at. It is incredible to think that such tiny creatures, ones we usually ignore completely, have their own character, their own preferences, and decide in their own way who is welcome in their space and who simply is not. As much as I would have loved to keep them and keep watching every one of their days, the truth is that earwigs belong in the wild, free, not behind glass, so I chose to take them somewhere they would never lack the moisture, the shade, or the calm they truly need. I had grown fond of them, but their place was always out there, not with me.